because automotive industry was very new. It was the growth sector. But over long periods of time, everything reverts to the mean. Again, in 1984, Microsoft was the growth company. But now it pretty much grows as the rest of the tech sector does. It doesn't grow faster than the tech sector. Right now, NVIDIA grows much faster. But if you ask me, what do you expect NVIDIA's growth rate going to be 20 years from now? My best answer is going to be 5% a year. Why? Because even NVIDIA is going to revert to the mean. Once the companies, it is easier to grow a company that is $1 billion worth at 20% compared to a company that is worth $5 trillion or $10 trillion. By the time NVIDIA is all done, it's probably going to be worth more than $10 trillion. Not necessarily next year. For example, if we did a similar analysis for Pepsi, the expected dividend payment is 542. Their current price is 157.30. Okay. I don't think. Oh, I wrote it in the wrong place. 9% and 542. Of course, when you start with a bad number, it gives you a bad solution. Uh, this says, assuming the same discount rate for Pepsi, 9%, assuming dividends are going to grow at a constant rate, starting 542 next year, you can justify Pepsi's current price at 5.5%. So relative to Coke, they don't need to grow as fast to justify the current price. Again, this assumes this case one is the proper model to use, a big assumption. But at least on a comparative basis, the rate of growth that justifies Pepsi's price is much less compared to Coke. That means, as far as the dividend growth model is concerned, Pepsi is undervalued compared to Coke, or Coke is overvalued compared to Pepsi. Kind of gives you a trading idea. Maybe you should think about buying Pepsi and shorting Coke. Do you guys know what shorting a stock means? Anyone? It's okay if you don't know. Hmm? Do you know what shorting a stock means? It's the euphemism for betting that stock price is going to go down. And the way you legally do it, you sell stock that you do not own. You're thinking, is that even legal? Yes. Let me see. What was your name? Remind me. Tara. Suppose I know that Tara is holding Coke stock and I want to short Coke. I go to Tara and say, can I borrow 100 shares of Coke from you? I promise I'm going to pay you back 100 shares of Coke. You may even charge me something a little, just like you would charge me interest when I borrow normal money. She said, sure, I wasn't going to sell it anyway. Go right ahead. I get those 100 shares in my name. I sell them in the market. Let's say it's 71.30 now. And 2 months from now, stock is trading at 61.30. I go back to the market. I buy them back. Okay. And I pay my loan, but I pay my loan as shares. She still has her 100 shares of Coke. But in the meantime, I sold at 71.30. I bought it back at 61.30. I made $1,000. Just like the saying goes, how do you make money in stocks? You buy low, you sell high. But when you do a normal position, you do the buying first. With the short position, you do the selling first, you do the buying later. Of course, if I'm unlucky, price goes up to 81.30, I'm going to lose $100 on that. And this is completely legal, by the way. There's no fraudulent thing going on. You, then you sell first, you borrow stocks from somebody, you sell them, and whenever you decide to close that position, you buy it back, pay off your stock loan. If in the meantime you made money, that money is yours. Or sometimes you lost money. If I think that Coke's stock is going to go down, I sell it now, then I buy it back when it is lower. That's how you make money by shorting. That doesn't mean that you will always make money, but that's the idea. And sometimes a lot of hedge funds actually do stuff like this. Hedge funds, they typically take kind of market neutral position. If I do the following trade, I have no bet on whether or not overall market is going to go up or down. I'm going to borrow 100 shares from Terra, 100 shares of Coke. I'm going to sell them in the market. That's going to give me $7,130. Okay, $7,130. And with that money, I'm going to buy equivalent number of Pepsi shares. So let's kind of do that exercise. So,
Can I ask you a question?
sure.
Does anybody in here have a mouse? Because I lost a mouse recently and it's connected and it's moving like somebody's using it. Okay, cool. It's somewhere here.
Borrow 100 shares of Coke. For the sake of simplicity, assume that Terra is so good, she's not charging me anything for that. And sell at 71.30. Get, and Pepsi trades at 157.30. And let's see, 71.30 divided by 157. That buys me 45.33 shares. Pepsi. So I basically finance my Pepsi purchases with the proceeds that I get from my Coke shorts. Okay, so it's in a sense a zero cost strategy. And 1 month later, Coke trades at 61.30, and Pepsi trades at 154.30. Both of them actually went down in value. But despite that, I'm going to show that I actually made money in this trade. First, my 45.33 PEP shares are now worth $699.94.42. Okay, but I need to buy back 100 shares of Coke at 61.30. So I spent 61.30 on that, and left bid 864.42. That's my profit. Remember, I started this trade with nothing. I had nothing, no money, no shares. I borrowed shares. I sold them in the market using the proceeds. I bought Pepsi shares. Both of them went down in value, but Pepsi didn't go down as much as Coke did. So when I closed the whole position, I'm left with $864 money. Hedge funds do these things a lot. So even though markets may have gone down, doesn't matter. As long as my long side, long means I'm betting that stock is going to go up.